joined here with Rob Dray. How are you, Rob? How have you been?
Not bad, Dan. Not bad. It's been a strange time for everybody, but hopefully we'll get through the other side of it now.
Absolutely. We'll start off. Obviously, losing 4 players early on was a blow for you. But do you feel the signings you've brought in have made the squad stronger?
Arguably, the 4 lads who went had a great bearing in the success in the last 3 or 4 years. And have certainly laid the foundations for what we're doing now. But yeah, listen, arguably we had a certain profile of player we're looking for at the moment, and we searched up far and wide, as you can tell. And listen, time will tell on that one. But those 4 were fantastic for us. But I do think the lads that have come in, do look really, really good.
Obviously, we started off with the signings of Toby Holmes, Gethin Hill, and Lee Lucas. Were you happy with the quality of those first 3 signings?
I think we're quite lucky to have all 3 of those. All 3 outstanding players. League and non-league, and I've been long-term admirers of all 3 of those. So yeah, I'm really pleased to get all 3.
Then we got the 2 defensive signings in Aaron Bentley and Jake Winnell to bolster your defensive options. You said earlier on, just during lockdown, obviously you wanted to lower the amount of goals you conceded. Are you pleased with the recruitments at the back?
I think it's one of our main things this year is that we really need to lower our goals against. We've never had any problem scoring goals, and I don't think with the 4 strikers that we've got and the attacking midfielders we've got this year that we're going to have any problem scoring goals again. But it is something we've got to address. You can't hide away from it, and I think with Jake and Rodders, Aaron, they will complement what we've got right now, so I'm really pleased. Jake, he had a nasty injury 18 months or so ago. We've been talking about 18 months, so it's been a bit of a long haul to get him. But he's a proper player. Rod's got, he's got great technique. He's been around the block and he's come from part way and wants to step back up, which is fantastic.
Obviously, you then had the signing of Owen Howell, controversial in some fans' eyes. But how do you feel with his quality signing?
Listen, I know Owen. I know what he's like. I know what sort of kid he is. I know when we were 18, 19, when I was assistant to Joycey at Bideford. And listen, he's a bit of a pantomime anti-villain, if you like, to a degree here. But what I do know, he'll stick the shirt on and he'll work really hard and he will score goals. We've spoken about his discipline. He didn't get sent off last year, and listen, I've got every faith in him, and I think he could turn out to be our greatest signing for all we know, and I think he'll be fine. I'm looking forward to getting going.
The more recent signings of Joe Guest and Jordan Kopp, again some young signings coming into the squad. You must be pleased with those signings coming through the door.
Yeah, listen, Guesty, I've watched him probably more than any other player last season, because obviously we played Yate twice, and I went and watched 3 or 4 games when Yate were on, because it was so wet. It was always on up there, and he's a bit of a throwback for me actually. I like him. He sits in front of the back 4, stops and starts stuff, and is quite mature for his age. He's 22. He's very mature. And I like that. He's a man. He organises. And he's quite happy to do the dirty stuff, which is going to be massive again in our goals against. So really pleased to get him. Copy obviously comes with some pedigree, and he's left-sided, which again is massive for us. We're still trying to fill that left-sided wing-back, stroke left-back role.
Okay, with the signings coming through, how were they approached, and were they keen to come to Taunton?
Oh, listen, they're all keen to come to Taunton. I think first and foremost, our reputation in the last 3 or 4 years goes before us. So people know we are a good club. They know we're very well run. We know we've got all the bits. We know we've got a nice pitch. Kev looks after people. They get the kit, etc., etc. So, in a lot of respects, and even going along with your social media skills and what you've done, people like that. So the profile of the club is really high at the moment. So that's not a hard sell in a lot of respects. But there's always some work to do.
With the recent signings, obviously the season coming to an end, and obviously losing out on the budget coming towards the end of the season, how has it been managing your budget with the new signings coming in?
Listen, it's always difficult, budgets, because much as we are a sustainable business, which I think is crucial, and there's been bits and pieces on social media in the last few weeks saying that you've got all these players coming in, have you got all these players coming out, and essentially it balances itself out, and that's what it's done. We've had players come in, and there'll still be 1 or 2 that are going to go out of the club, which is natural deselection, if you like. But we've got the same budget as last year. There's going to be no real difference. Alan runs it very, very tight. Kev runs it very, very tight. Brian. They're very, very switched on guys, and we're not going to do anything to put the club at risk. There's not going to happen. So I try and get value for money. I try and I know what the going rate is in this league. I will get value for money for the club. So there's always chats about tenors here and 20 quid there, but I think the lads we've got are good lads, good value for money, and we'll keep the budget where it is. Like I said before, we are sustainable. We haven't got a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. That's not happening. So, but we've got a good business here. We've got a lot of income outside of our football income. So, which makes a massive difference, which people don't see. All they see is he's coming in, he's getting paid X. So, what they think is being paid X anyway.
Yeah. You've managed to keep hold of the majority of the squad from last season. Two that came in towards the end of last season, Dan Demkov and Luke Spokes. Are you looking forward to seeing more of them?
Listen, I think especially Spokesy, I think he had a little bit of a tricky period coming in, settling in. He's a young lad, again he's 19 years old, but he's a real player. He's a real player in there, and I'm pleased that we've got him again this year. Because I've got big things for him, he's really got to come to the party, but he's had his settling in period now. He's got to hit the ground running, as simple as that. And similar to Dan as well, I think Dan's, he's wandered around the non-league circuit, but he hopefully might have found a bit of a home here, and I've seen some great things from him. I've got a lot of time for him. He's a good kid, and hopefully he'll kick on again this year as well.
Also had Jamie Price stay on, stepping into a player/coach role. Are you happy with him joining the coaching team?
Listen, I think Jamie, it's a bit of a natural progression for him. I think he was a little surprised at it when I first sort of mused it to him, but he's grabbed it and has been absolutely superb for me already in this pre-season in terms of another ear. He'll be that ear within the changing room, and any issues we need to sort out, he's going to do that. But yeah, no, he's been brilliant. He's very well respected. The lads love him to death. Obviously his pedigree for what he's done in the game has been brilliant. So I think it was a really good one for us to get over the line.
Callum Watts being another one recently confirmed. You must be pleased to see another local young player come.
Yeah, listen. Again, our link with BTC is massive. Callum is, he's a special talent. He's a special lad. Time will tell how far he goes, but he's a hungry kid. Which is what I like. He wants to say the right things. He loves it. So, we'll see how he goes. I think he'll break through a bit more this year. He's in the gym. He does all the right things. So, yeah, nice kid.
We also had some brilliant loan signings last season with Harry Kite, Zach Smith, to name a few. Will you be looking to have some more loan players come in as the season?
I think yes. I think one or two. There won't be anything dramatic. Probably not as much as last year, because sometimes they can be tricky to manage their ins and outs. But listen, we have a great relationship with Exeter and Bristol City, and I'm sure there'll be one or two coming in from them. Kitey was superb for us last night. Zach, what a player he's going to be. Both of them are really, really good lads and good players. So 100% we'll be using that option again.
And then finally, with the uncertainty of football, obviously not much idea when it will return, but do you have an idea of how your pre-season will pan out?
It'll be slightly extended depending on when we start, because but they've got programmes at the moment, and most of the lads keep themselves ticking over, because what we don't want to be doing is coming back and doing straight line running, because we will be on a little bit of a short lead, I think. But we will be trying to do more games. So there'll be plenty of games. It'll be all football related, so everybody can get their body retrained to how it's going to be, the rigours of football.
Well, it's brilliant catching up with you, Rob, and we'll speak to you again soon.
Cheers, Dan.